Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of Shopify as fast as possible, so you can also build your own Shopify store. Similar as this store, this is also built with Shopify. And on a quick side note, I will send you a free mystery gift worth of at least $100, at least in my opinion, if you use my link when signing up for a free Shopify trial. So first, where you will be spending a lot of your time the upcoming days and weeks is the products tab. So you'll be spending a lot of time here adding your products depending on how many products you have. And especially creating professional looking images is extremely important, since no one is going to buy your product if your image looks crappy, especially if you're planning on charging premium prices. So you can see that here in this store too, they're using models to display their products. Imagine if they just showed their product without a model. It would give an entirely different vibe for this store. And I've done the same with my online dog training store where I sell dog training books. So as you can see, I spent some time creating professional looking images for the ebooks, but also for the paperback books, which gives a more premium vibe to your store. And while creating those images, make sure you use the same dimensions for all the product images. So as you can see in this store, they're using the same dimensions for every image. So for example, with this store, if we select one of these images, click right mouse button, open image in new tab. So these are the dimensions of this image. If we open a random other image, we click this product image, for example, open it in a new tab. And as you can see, they have the same dimensions for every product image. So if you have a lot of different products you want to add to your store, the best thing you can do is fill in all the information for every single product inside the product creation window. So like the product name, obviously, the description, the prices, and also the variations like size or color, etc. But what you can also do, so for example, what I did with my store, I only have a few products in my store. So I created a so-called product template. So if you go to online store and then select themes, and then you can customize your theme, and here you can create a so-called custom product template. So if we hover over this part here, select products, and in the beginning of your store you only have the default product template, but you can also create a new template specifically for one product. So let's say if we open a specific product template over here, you can alter this specific product template for this particular product, and then inside the product editor you can just change what theme template you want to show for this particular product. And the upside for doing it this way, to create product templates for specific products, is that you can customize the look and feel for every single product. But if you have hundreds of different products, that's obviously a lot of time, and you should not do that. You should just create one single product template for all your products. So secondly, where you will spending a little bit of your time in the upcoming weeks and months while designing your store is the collection pages. So for example, if we take a look at the free Shopify theme called Fabric, you can see they have these menu items over here. They have women's wear, menswear, and if you click on one of these categories over here, so this is created with a collection. They've created a collection called women's wear. So they created a collection here. They called it women's wear. And then they've added all the products they want to show inside this collection. So if we go to online store and we're going to customize the fabric template I installed in my store, you can see over here we have that menu bar. And here you can tweak what you want to show if someone clicks on one of these menu items. So over here we can see the menu, and we can edit the menu if we want by clicking on this link here. And here we have the menu bar. You can also find this over at content, menus, and here you can tweak the link of all products and what you want to show if someone clicks on it. So here we can select collections, and then we can select the collection we created. So coming back to the demo, if you click on women's wear, so again they created that collection for women's wear, which includes all these products for that particular collection. But more on design later. So then number 3, where you'll be spending most of your time these upcoming weeks and months, is inside the online store editor. So we have already touched on design a little bit, but when you're designing your store, this is where you're gonna go. So online store, themes, you're gonna select the theme, and more on theme selection later as well. And then you're gonna click on customize. So many people also outsource this part to a designer, since it costs quite a bit of time and know-how to fully design your store the way you like it. But with my instructions, I think it's definitely possible for you to do it yourself. It's not that hard. It just costs a little bit of time and your energy. But again, again, more on this in the last tip of this video. But to get your Shopify store up and running quickly, there are a few more things we have to tackle first. And let's start with the most important one, which is getting paid. So most people start with designing the store or adding products to the store, but I say start with payments, so the core settings are out of the way. So when you logged in into your store, you're going to click on settings, and next you're going to go to payments, and then you're going to click on activate Shopify payments, and then you're going to walk yourself through these 5 steps of setting up the Shopify payments. And you're going to do the same with activating PayPal. So you're going to click on activate PayPal, and you're going to click on activate. So similar here, you're going to walk yourself through these steps of activating your PayPal integration with Shopify. So this step is a requirement. You cannot skip this step. And once you're done with this step, you're ready to take money from day one. So next up, did you know it's really easy to get help with your Shopify store? So you can find an expert in the official Shopify partner directory. But if you search on Google on Shopify expert, you can also find people on Upwork or Fiverr. But some people find hiring a Shopify expert a little bit scary because you have to give access to your Shopify store. But with the collaborator feature inside Shopify, it makes it really simple and safe. So it's a really handy feature to know. So if you hire a freelancer for your Shopify store for some help, you're going to go to settings and then users and permissions. And if we scroll down here a little bit, here you can see collaborators, and here you can see the collaborator request code. You're going to copy that code and you're going to share that code with the person you hired. So let's say, as just an example, let's say you hire me. So I can log in into my Shopify partner account. I can then go to request access to a store. I'm going to enter the URL. And then I have to enter the collaborator request code as well. So this was the request code, remember? So let's say I just received the request code from you. I'm pasting in the request code. Then I'm going to select which permissions I would like to have. Just as an example, I'm going to select all. I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to say request access to the store. And then you as the store owner can approve or adjust those permissions in your settings so they can't delete or tweak anything important. And once approved, they're added as a collaborator and they can do their thing. And aside from collaborators, you can also add staff. So over here, you have to enter the staff email. And a quick tip here, my advice is that you log in with that email address to see what permissions they have, just to confirm the permissions work as intended and they can't delete or tweak anything important. So next up, for new stores, I always check the checkout settings with the store owner. So go to settings, and then over here we can see the checkout tab. So 4 quick tips here. The first thing, the customer contact method. By default, it's on phone or email, but for simpler setup, choose email only. So customers get order updates by email instead of SMS. And next we have this option over here, show a link for customers to track their order with Shop. And my advice here, decide if this fits your audience. So for example, for my dog training store in the Netherlands, I don't see people using the shop feature. So it's a Shopify feature because people in the Netherlands are not familiar with the shop app. At least that's my experience. So I disabled this feature for my local store. And next, if your store is business to business, you should require the company name here. And next we have the shipping address phone number. By default, it's on don't include. My advice to you is to put it on required because sometimes people misspell their email and also forget to include the street number when checking out. Requiring a phone number gives you a backup way to contact them. Next, we're going to click on save. And a quick tip here, if you change one of these settings for the checkout, make sure to double check it on the live store to confirm everything behaves the way you expect. So next we're gonna close this one here and we're gonna have a look at markets. So if you're selling to different countries or regions or planning to, you must set up markets. So if you want to add a new market, you can do that here by clicking this button. And also when you first sign up, you get 1 active market. So for me, it was the Netherlands. But right now, if we go to our online store, if we view our online store here, and if we go to the checkout here, and if we click checkout, you can see there are only 2 options here. We have Australia and Netherlands. So if a UK visitor, for example, wants to buy this product, he can't because he can't select the United Kingdom for delivery. So if I want to add a new market, I'm going to click on create market. So let's say we want to create a market for the UK. I'm going to click on add condition. I'm going to add the United Kingdom. I'm going to click on done. And now if I click on save, and if we go back to the checkout and if I refresh this page, so now you can see we have United Kingdom as an option as well. So markets also offers a lot of other options. options. So we can set custom prices for this specific market. I can show localized content. So for example, I could change the language. For example, I can show a specific currency, as you can see over here, but I can also change the domain for a specific market. So next, a really important thing that many people skip is do your homework on taxes, VAT, and duties. So for example, we have EU taxes, US taxes, UK taxes, EU VAT. There's import duties like DDP and DDU, etc., etc., etc. So the good news is you don't need to know 95% of it, but you do need to know, you need to figure out what applies to your situation. So what applies to your situation depends on a few things. The first one, where you're based. The second one, which countries or states you sell to. And third, whether you cross certain sales thresholds and how you handle duties on international orders. So what should you do? What's my recommendation here? My first recommendation is go to this link and read this Shopify taxes page. And so it's basically the parent page that links out to everything else you need. So we have UK taxes, EU taxes. So just read whatever is applicable to your situation. And my second recommendation here is that you should join the Shopify subreddit and search your exact scenario. So for example, UK VAT threshold. So if I click enter here, we get a lot of results and you can learn a lot from people in the same boat. So just search on whatever is applicable to your situation and read these posts. And if you're still unsure, you should hire a local tax professional who specializes in e-commerce in your region. It'll be totally worth it just for peace of mind alone. So this is not tax advice, but it's just how I approach it so you don't drown in the details. And next up, we need a review app. So every store, every e-commerce store has a review app. So for my store, I use this review app, so the Judge Me reviews. You're just gonna go to apps, and if you click on all recommended apps, you probably see the Judge Me app already here. If not, you're gonna click on Shopify App Store, and here you can search the app. So I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but since Shopify no longer has a native review app, we need a third-party option. And the one I always use is the Judge Me review app. As you can see, over the last 3 years, I've sent out more than 5,000 review requests and I received more than 500 reviews. So they do have a pretty solid free plan, but I'm on the paid plan since it allows me to customize the look and feel a little bit more, and obviously you get a little bit more options. But just for a quick start on the free plan, and if you want more control over styling and features, you can always upgrade later. Okay, we've made it. Now the fun part begins. We're going to select a theme and designing our store. And if we click here on import theme and visit the theme store, we can see that Shopify offers 24 free themes. And I do suggest you use a free theme. But which of these 24 themes should you choose? And what if you pick the wrong theme? Does that matter? So you don't have to worry about all of these questions. I've tested all free Shopify themes and what theme I suggest you use and why. I explain all of that in this video over here. And lastly, as mentioned before, I'll send you a free gift worth of at least $100, at least in my opinion, if you use my link, learnwithrobin.com/Shopify to sign up for a free Shopify trial.